for just the sixth time in American history, the House of Representatives voted to expel one of its own members. Embattled former Congressman George Santos was ousted in a bipartisan vote Friday after the House Ethics Committee released a scathing report last month. Santos's colleagues on the committee accused the New York congressman of using campaign funds to pay for personal expenses, among other ethics violations. CBS News political campaign reporter Taurean Small is on Capitol Hill. Taurean, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Jeff. With the ouster of George Santos, the 118th Congress has made history yet again, voting to expel a member who has not been convicted of a crime or a member of the Confederacy. And as his time on Capitol Hill comes to an end, his legal challenges remain. George Santos prepared to leave the House floor for the last time as a member as his colleagues continue to vote on his expulsion.
Mr. Santos, what's your reaction to the expulsion?
As he left the Capitol, reporters chased him.
You have anything to say to your constituents, George Santos?
He rode off from the Capitol as a former congressman. His final remark, "Why would I want to stay here? To hell with this place."
In light of the expulsion of the gentleman from New York, Mr. Santos, the whole number of the House is now 434.
More than 100 of his fellow Republicans joined nearly all Democrats voting to make Santos one of only 3 U.S. House members to be expelled since the Civil War.
Today, at least, democracy prevailed.
Though members of the GOP leadership, working with a slim majority, voted for him to stay, arguing he hadn't been convicted.
I'm not going to vote to expel.
Santos's former Republican colleagues from New York mostly supported his removal.
I think the precedent is that we're holding members of Congress to a higher standard.
That afternoon, congressional maintenance crews were seen removing his nameplate and changing the locks on his office doors. But Santos is facing trial next summer on 23 federal charges, including 2 accusations he stole his campaign donors' credit card numbers and racked up thousands of dollars in charges.
I have been convicted of no crimes, Mr. Speaker.
But after 2 attempts to expel Santos previously failed, it was the report from the House Ethics Committee that sealed his fate. The committee found evidence that Santos had stolen money from donors to live a life of luxury, spending campaign funds on Botox, trips to the Hamptons and Atlantic City, and designer clothing. And earlier this week, Republican Representative Max Miller of Ohio accused Santos of allegedly using his and his mother's credit cards to fund his spending.
You, sir, are a crook.
Now, in a string of overnight posts to the social media website known as X, Santos announced plans to file ethics complaints against 3 Republicans and 1 Democrat, all who voted to expel the former congressman. As for his now empty seat, Governor Kathy Hochul of New York announced plans for a special election to fill the vacancy in the state's 3rd congressional district. It's a pretty competitive seat, so we can expect to see both parties spend a fortune to fill this vacancy. Michelle.
Yes, indeed. Taurean, thank you.